Hey Mr. Lennon, this is Ben Ide making a tutorial for the various hotkeys that can be used in Photoshop CS5 and for Photoshop CS6. Now, before I start, I'd just like to say that there are way too many hotkeys to actually memorize and to actually show you in a brief time, so I'm just going to show you the ones that I like to use and are really the most useful. So let's get started. Control N is the one that will bring up the window that allows you to create a new Photoshop document. And then after that, say if you want to get an image from your computer or from the internet, you would go find that image, press Control C and Control V. And the great thing about that is that it will also put it on another layer, and will also keep the background layer intact, which I actually always delete because I don't really need it. So the next one that I'm going to show you is the lasso tool, which can be selected by pressing L. And that one will let me drag a little selection around it, just like that. And if I want to add to it, I just press Shift, and that will let me drag a little selection around there. But if I don't want that, then I just press Alt, and I just drag a little circle around the piece that I don't want. And it also works just in taking a chunk out of a larger selection, like this. But say if I want to just deselect everything on the screen, then I can press Control D, but if I didn't want to do that and I just did that, then I press Control Z, which is the undo key. But if I press it again, it will redo that. So that one's not very useful. So maybe if I want to really get working on that, then I would do Control Alt Z, which is the step backwards tool, which will no matter where you are in the document, it will just undo the last thing that you did from where you were. And the same thing goes with Control Shift Z, but that one works as the redo tool and is called step forward. So it's two short keys there. The next one is the brush tool, which can be selected with B. And that one just lets you draw anything like this. But if I don't really want that color, then I can just press Alt, and you probably saw that little ring around it, and that will, as I drag around, that will show me kind of the contrast with the other colors that I previously had, like this. And so now I can just draw with that. And I find that to be pretty useful at sometimes. And also the Shift key, if I just make that little point there, then I press the Shift key and make another point here, it will draw a completely straight line to it. So with just 3 clicks, you made a perfect triangle. And I find that to be really helpful at times. And also, the eraser tool, E, and that one is kind of what it says, obviously. And there's kind of like some similarities between them, except that Alt will give you the art history tool, but Shift will still give you the point, the point line, and I can just make an erase triangle just like that. And now I'm just going to undo all of that with Control Alt Z. And since I went too far, I just did 2 Control Shift Z. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is the Content Aware tool. And that one is really helpful if you got, like, say, I'm just going to make a little blotch here with the brush tool, B. Just going to make that little blotch. Now, I just select that with the lasso tool, L, and go around that. And then I do Shift F5. And that one, it will just try to fill everything that's around it with the content aware thing. Now, obviously, it's not always that accurate. I think that right now I had it actually just set to black. So now I'm going to set it to content aware, and it should just blend right in. Except there's always those little touch-up areas that you can see right there, but you can just kind of Shift F5, and you got it. It's great. Now the next thing is the merge layers tool. So first thing I have to do is I have to make a new layer. So I'm going to do lasso tool, Control C, Control V, lasso tool, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to move those around a little bit. So I'm going to put this one over here, this one over here. So obviously that looks a little choppy, but now they're all on different layers, so I can't really work on them all at the same time. So what I'm going to do is Control Shift E, and that will merge all the layers that I had into one layer. And now for the last one that I'm going to show you is the various channels that you can use. And you can just go to here and look at this, and it will actually say the hotkey beside it. But there are Control 2 and Control 3, Control 4, and Control 5. And what these do, I just love these. They turn off the various red, green, blue colorings for them. And it kind of gives you a nice little black and white view of what your image might look like. So pressing Control 3 would turn everything off except for the red color. And you can see it's a little bit more red. Control 4, everything but the green color, and Control 5 is everything but the blue color. Now you can't really see it with this because it's already a black and white image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of maybe planet Earth. And this one is really great for making like black and white images and just seeing how your work would look like that, and even sometimes just finding like a cool shadow for it. Like you can just see what it looks like and then plan what you're going to be doing around that. So now go to this, copy image, and now I'm going to paste it under a new layer, or onto the same layer actually. And what this is going to do is, since I have all the channels turned off except for I think blue, it just shows the blue that's in the earth. And that's not completely accurate because there's still some blue, but it's going to be very desaturated. And that works with Shift, and that works with a bunch of them. It's really great, I think. So anyway, I'm just going to undo that, be done with that copy, and I hope that you liked my tutorial. Thanks, Mr. Lennon, for listening. And